So the problem is resolved. So the thing was, when I would go to the brush setting, that is right here, brush setting, and if I would turn on shape dynamics, that's where you get like pen pressure, pen tilt, and everything. I would turn this on and set it to pen pressure. I could see like a warning sign right next to it. It was like Photoshop didn't understand like what is the, the digital pen wouldn't act as if it understands pen pressure or tilting or anything. So what I did was that I looked up a bunch of things online, and I saw that in some forum somebody says that might be the driver, you need to reinstall it, and I just realized that maybe I need to just install the newer version of the driver. So what I did was that I went to, not this one, so if you type in Wacom here, there is this Wacom tablet preferences and file utility. I just removed my preferences and didn't fix the problem. I went to control panel and just uninstalled the driver, installed the new version, newest driver for Wacom tablet, and now when I turn on shape dynamic, it doesn't show me any errors. Well, believe it or not, I've seen this thing on forums, and it has happened to me like a couple of millions of times. But Wacom tablet tends to delete its drivers too. So a genie comes into your computer and deletes the Wacom tablet driver. So be mindful of that. If this icon that you pinned here just disappeared for no reason, just go in and install the driver again. I don't know why it does that. Well, it hasn't happened on my Mac computer, but for the Windows, I've seen this like before. But yeah, if for whatever reason you can see that your pen doesn't act as if it understands the stuff, just know that you probably need to uninstall and install the driver again. Okay, so because I uninstalled it, I need to just set the functions for the pen again to mapping, and then say here I don't want full screen, I want only this monitor. And for this, again, I'm gonna go do Photoshop, add this here, and for the settings, I'm gonna go to keyboards, keystrokes, and hold down Control Alt Z and just name this undo and say OK. So I have everything back working. Okay, so now you can see that here I have my sketch brushes, and you can see that the pen shows the tilting here. That is what it is supposed to do. If it just shows nothing is moving, it means that something's wrong. Okay, so the thin pen, for example, I'm just gonna grab it. That's where we left off, right? I'm just gonna make this a little bit more visible to see what's happening in the background. There are a bunch of apples. So I separated the layer for the background, and I'm just gonna start drawing some apples here, doing this, a little bit of that. Again, because you're having fun with digital pen, don't push it too much, okay? Don't put that so much details on your storyboards. At any point, you might need to go back and change it and get rid of it, and you don't want to put that much time for each frame, right? So you can draw a bunch of stuff here like this. That would be my background layer. I'm not going to go in and just draw the rest of the background, because then I need to go in and what I need to do is that go away. I need to create another layer here and fill it with white. That's why I put this fill white brush here, like this, because it shows through it. But yeah, you can choose not to do that. It's optional. So what else? What are the other useful tools? Well, that's all I can think of right now. And so when you're done, like this is the one frame that you need for shot one. So you can just group everything here in the layer section. Just select everything by clicking on this one of the layers on the top, shift select everything and drag it to this folder icon. Okay, now we're gonna just name it. Which shot was it? Let's just open and see. sketches. This is shot 4. Okay, so I'm just gonna rename this, double clicking on this. I have no idea what is this thing that opens up. I'm guessing it is something to do with the windows. So let's just turn that off. Pen. Everything off. I don't need you, Windows Workspace. Okay, so hopefully it's not gonna show that to me again. Yes, here we go. So I'm just gonna type in sh04. Don't forget the 0, okay? That's important. If you have named files that are more than 10 files, you're gonna know why. Because if you name like that, it's not important in Photoshop, but as a general good habit of naming files, it's good to, if you know that you're not gonna have more than 900 files or something, it's a good thing that you put 01, because when you try to arrange them in on your computer, if you have 1 and then you have 10, sometimes, you know, 1 is going to be considered like 2 is going to be after the 12. Well, I don't know how to explain this, but yeah, let's just put 10 before the name. Okay, so now I can just save this file, and also I want to save it as a JPEG file. Okay, so I'm going to do save as, change this to JPEG, and this time I'm going to go into a story JPEG. I'm just going to name this let's just get rid of this and do 04, because this is 04. Okay, and save. Okay, so let's say my shot 4 had like another pose to it. Okay, let's just draw that. So I'm just gonna reduce the opacity on this one, and I'm gonna draw Sharpie solid. Okay, so I'm gonna draw another, not in that layer, here. So I'm gonna draw another like pose for the character, be like, let's just say like this. Okay, so in this case, I'm just gonna turn this off. This is gonna be, let's just put a white thing in this layer so that doesn't, oh, okay, it already covered that part of the background. Okay, so this is gonna be shot 4B, right? So when I want to save this, I'm gonna do Ctrl+Shift+S, and I'm gonna go to my JPEG folder, change the setting to JPEG, and just name this 04B, for example. If I have ABC, I should have actually named that one 04-A, but you get the idea. Okay, so be you know, be mindful of the way that you name this JPEG file. You're gonna have millions of them, and you don't want to, you know, just go in and try to find them. You want to name them in such a way that your operating system like puts them in order when you arrange files based on their name. Okay, so I'm just gonna go save and do this, and now it is saved. If I go to my folder here, I can see this 2 JPEG file for the, I'm gonna rename this to 04A. So if you decide you want to put something in there, you can just put like 04A1, and then it's gonna be arranged before that. But one other way that you can do this, if you have like scenes, different scenes, you can create another folder in here later and name it just scene 1. Just put all the JPEG files inside it, so later you don't have to go in and find them, right? I think that's all for today. Just save this file, and we're going to start doing this in the class, and I'm going to be around if you wanted to ask me questions.